Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see you all here. It's very June gloom where we are right now in Santa Monica, LA. We didn't realize there was such a thing called June gloom, but we're very much experiencing it. It's like one day the sun will come out and it'll be, oh, life's really good. And then it's like gloomy for the whole day. And the sun hasn't come out at all today. There's no rain. It's just what it is.
Fog.
Fog.
It's like fog
Yeah,
all day.
fog. Yeah. So we're trying not to let that affect our vibe.
It's cold, but you're cold all day long. But it is what it is. Since we talked last time, I've found a couple of new beaches, bought the boys some wetsuits. We've been getting in the ocean, feeling a lot better about that, with connecting into the sea. And then, of course, just navigating this whole adventure that Roxy and I are on, and working through things, bouncing lessons off one another, and getting some great information through. Particularly, guys, looping all of this back to a topic that we haven't spoken to for quite a while, which is this connection in with the Pleiadians, and the Pleiadians connecting in with Roxy. And that is something which has really been, how would I word it, really firing and coming through more recently. Perhaps you could share a little about that.
Yeah, so for anyone that's been invited by a Galactic Ambassador friend, hello, we are Pete and Roxy. If you didn't really know that already, we've also opened up and sent the Zoom link today for a few new people to join and feel our energy and our medicine, of course. So just briefly, when we had our awakening, the Pleiadians really started channeling into us. And that's how this whole group has begun, for the idea of the energy of the galactic. And for those of you who felt that call, oh, these two people are talking about, the galactic, the Pleiadians, oh, they look normal looking. I might go and join them. This is how this Galactic Ambassadors group kind of has been formed, and how this awakening education and what we teach people to remote view and all the rest of it to the ship. So like when we were having this awakening, the Pleiadians started coming through to us, and we started going, are aliens even real? Well, that was my first thing. And slowly but surely, they guided us to start the YouTube channel. Awakening Education was born, and that's how it's got started. And slowly I got shown more and more to the galactic ship and to remote view. And then I got shown, hey, if you teach some people, they'll open up that consciousness, and here we are today. So thank you all for coming and opening up the consciousness to the galactic awareness. And one of the most recent things when we kind of moved over to LA, and I share this story to give you some hope that there is still a lot of magic in the galactic, is that I was starting to doubt the galactic connection. And I, something came over me like, oh, maybe this is all, very far away. And I don't know, I just had a moment where I was like, what's going on here? And a week later, I set the intention, show me, guys, show me that this is real, And then a week later, the portal to the Pleiadians TV show that we made won Cannes World Film Festival, the final, the annual. So I got the email in the inbox, and an invitation to go to France. To go to the gala and it be awarded, potentially awarded. And it's in 5 days that award will be known to us. So how we go. So we'll fingers crossed that we get somewhere there. And I thought, oh, that's a good synchronicity. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. And then the next thing that came was a very profound dream or experience. And the experience was in Australia on like a football field. And it's like, it was so real. I kept going on about it for days to Pete, and he's just like, oh my gosh, she keeps going on about this. And it was so real to me that it felt like it was happening maybe in this now moment. That night in my dream state, I had this dream. Pete was sound asleep the whole time, and I was off on an adventure. I came to this big football field, and this ship came down, and it wasn't a round ship. It was like a cube ship. And it was like, you know, Apple, the brand Apple, and the ear pods, and everything's white and curved. The ship very much looked like a bit of a cube, and it was like a cube with a rectangle that came out like a veranda. And these Pleiadian beings, there was 8 Pleiadians. They're very human. They looked like humans. And I was kind of going, oh, is this like, you know, the government? Because they look so real as humans, right? They looked like humans until I got closer. And it was almost like in the dream, Peter and I got this signal that a ship was going to land with the details to go to the field. And so we took the kids and we went to the field, and then sure enough, the ship was there. And it was just a deep knowing that that was going to happen. And when we got there, I went forward. Pete stayed back with the children. And when I got closer, the way I learned that they were Pleiadians was by their eye color. And there was this beautiful deep blue, like water crystal color. And they all had the same color in the eyes. And I said, oh, do you know who I am? And they said, and this lady named Helena or Helen or something along these lines, she was kind of the first one to come out of the ship, and she said, no, I don't, but I'll find out. And she made a phone call, but telepathically in her head, and she connected to the starship that we take students to. And she said, oh, yes, I know Eskil, and yes, they know of you. And I was like, whoa. And so then they said, would you like to come aboard? And then I went aboard the ship. And before I knew it, the ship was going up and leaving the football field. And I said, oh, where are we going? And then they said, well, we're going to take you to Houston in America. And I'm like, well, how long is that going to take my family? And it's like, it's all good. Pete knows that you're going to be back. It's fine. And we've been getting downloads, things like that in the past. And then it took 10 minutes to get to America, moving through this time-space portal. And when we got to America, there was people in this football field that were seeing this galactic ship. And people gathering around this ship, and I had to go out, and one person came out up to me and said, are you Pleiadian? And I said, no, I'm actually human. And then the dream ended. And so I just wanted to share that because it was so real for me and the experience. And it was very like 3D. So it wasn't euphoric, it was 3D. For me.
What do you mean by that?
So it wasn't like energetically perceiving this. It was physical formed perceiving. Like I could sit down inside the ship. I could see like you know, the kitchenette and the place that they rested, and the physical ship, right? It was very, very real in my perception. And I couldn't get, this is another sign, I think, from the Pleiadians that yes, Roxy, this is all real, right? So that confirmation for me was really humbling and nice to know that we are all on the right trajectory with this galactic consciousness, right? Because, you know, the illusion of the 3D sometimes trips you up and it can be a bit overwhelming to know, is this real or this not? And you've got to use your discernment because there's so many tricks to energy flows out there, right? So the idea of knowing all of this is to raise your vibration, and then you're not fooled by any illusions that are playing out on the planet. So that was my little story. So yeah, over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of energy hitting the planet. So hands up of you that have been really feeling this, the distortion, the frustrations. Yesterday, nothing was in flow for us. There was a whole lot of energy coming to the planet. Yesterday morning, I had this download of this rainbow plasma light washing over me. And then I got the update from space weather. So if you ever want to track the weather coming from the galactic sun, this is something that you guys can do under spaceweather.com. And there's this wonderful scientist that rate these solar flares coming off the sun. So if you're feeling irritable, you can go and check that and realize, okay, this is Ascension symptoms. I'm not going to be alone. Everyone's probably feeling this, right? And just rest and be mindful that you just got to labor through the energy. Like yesterday, nothing was working for us. Nothing at all. We couldn't get money out of the bank. Pete probably went to 5 different banks to try and get money out of the ATM. There's money in the account, but there was just so many blocks. No haircuts were happening yesterday. No coffee was happening. There was like lineups whenever we go to the coffee shop. It was just like, just go home and lay in bed, do nothing. And we're just like, this is crazy. Nothing is happening. Everything is not in flow. And then we got irritable at each other. Everyone's frustrated. We're like, okay, let's clear this energy. What's going on? And we both went into our process. So it's important for you to realize if something's not in flow, stop and ask. And we're certainly still applying that to ourselves as well.
So we wake up today, it's a new day. We've got this appointment in our calendar that has been hanging around, that we just kept getting changed and times pushed back and all of these things, to the point where you're thinking, why are we even doing this meeting in the first place? Anyway, we arrive at this place right on the water, and you're not even supposed to be allowed in there unless you're a member, and et cetera, et cetera. It's very snooty and fancy. And in we go. And we realized we'd actually don't know what this person looks like. And you're not allowed to use your phone in this particular place because it's so fancy that you might see a celebrity and take a photo of them. So we don't know how to contact this person. And we're thinking, what the heck have we got ourselves into? And it turns out that in this eventual meeting that we solve, we come together like old friends with this lady and her business partner. And we talk about consciousness and what we're doing, and the mutual friend who said we should have had this meeting that we didn't even know. And then the topic of the Pleiadians, which is what I wanted to get to, comes up. And Roxy and this woman have so many similarities in their story. It was crazy, like right down to little things about James Cameron, the producer, coming through to both of them. Now, unless there's lots of people on here who get James Cameron coming through to them, I was always like Roxy had talked about, I'm like,
I think so crazy.
You just love the Titanic movie or whatever. And well, I've unpacked that now actually, because we found out an ayahuasca journey that Roxy had been on a vessel that crashed in and around that era, and worked through emotion in and around that. And I thought, oh, that must have been the link to the movie and etc. But then Avatar came out, and of course we were looking at that, and the more awake we've become, the more we've seen the hidden meaning and code in and behind that movie. And there's certainly some things in there. It's like the more you watch it, the more you see it. And this lady knew of, because she's in this community over here, of James Cameron, of the story of him actually having dreams like George Lucas had about Pleiadians, about how they connected and got in some sort of consultant, and all of that was going on in the movie. We knew none of this. But then Roxy and this lady had had similar dreams about it all, things about the mission. It was completely crazy, because I don't think there's anyone on the call that we've spoken to about this, of all the people, even within the family, there's never been much of that. And I'm loving Karen just saying this now.
I've been obsessed with the Titanic.
And there was something this lady was saying about the connection and it being not logical and something strange, and like to the point where Roxy and this lady have both got a split family. She's got 2 boys, 7 and 10, like we have.
So many synchronicities
with plant medicine, the journey, being the entrepreneur, the business builder, walking away from, being a warrior woman and moving into this new version of herself. And my goodness, it's like, how many overlays, how many similarities do you need before you kind of get that chill, especially when you realize everything happens for a reason. And especially when you realize that, they're going, so how can we help you? What can we do for you? I feel like we want to work together, etc., etc., etc. And yesterday was such a rotten day, as Roxy talked about. It's like the worst day in the world. So navigating the energy and these extremes, like often we talk about in these, let's just call them little catch-ups and calls where we help one another. We talk about how often the energy goes up and down. And like usually in day-to-day life, it can be a little up and a little down. But have you noticed how sometimes the message where it's a really painful block, or there can be some sort of really big down, can very often follow a really big up? And it's like the higher frequency we are, the more we can move through these ups and downs very quickly. And this lady we were meeting with was talking about this, about how you become more healed as you become more awake. Instead of it taking you a week to forgive someone, you know, or a few days to forgive someone, you can actually start to forgive them or get over it or move through it a lot quicker. You know, it can be half an hour, a couple of hours, you're over it. It's like the person was still unreasonable or whatever it is still happened, or you're still stressed about it. But it is like you felt it, you got irritated, and you've moved through it. And strangely enough, you're in a good mood again, even though the issue might still be around you. That's got a lot to do with our ability to be able to do all of these principles that we've talked about, or many of you have heard us talk about in, let's call it the Galactic Course, where we talk about the principles of connecting to the ship, of using the med bed to help yourself, to help your friends and relatives. We get to that point through working on ourselves, right? And becoming more self-aware, more responsible, and changing the whole attitude of our life so that it sort of moves away from this future-based idea that when this happens, then I'll be happy. When that happens, then I'll be relaxed. When something else happens, then I'll forgive them. You know, and so often people are waiting for that moment to forgive or to get over it or to move themselves into a good mood. And you learn as you get yourself more and more in the present to be able to control your state and your responses. And that's very, very powerful. And Roxy's thrown out an invitation. The recording of this will get put up in different places today, because we've got our next Galactic Course coming up. And what we've noticed more and more, the more times we present this galactic training, the more it changes. And like the last group that we went through with, and a lot of the people on the call today, I'm looking at Jimmy right now. We've had people who have connected in more recently with us. I know Min did a wonderful session with Roxy. It's like, as Roxy and I apply what we're teaching everyone else here and what we discuss, as we apply it and live it and put it into practice, our vibration goes up. And what we're able to pick up on and then channel through to you guys improves as well. And that's why in this next galactic training that we've got coming up, we've decided to make an opportunity for people to be able to experience this with a friend or a relative or someone who might like to do that training with them. If you explain what we mean.
Yeah, so just some housekeeping around that before we do the activation today. The course is coming up in July, and it's a 2-for-1 offer. So for those of you who haven't done the galactic training, that's an opportunity for you to go halves or 50% with a light buddy, and then you've got someone to help you and move through that process with you. And you'll get access to the Galactic Ambassadors, which is it's every 2-week catch up live to maintain your vibration and heal. And if you're feeling called to that, let us know. There's a free discovery call. It's a 15-minute discovery call with Pete to learn everything about that. As well as that, we've got the multidimensional course. So some of you here are signed up to do that, which is going to be amazing. So if you're feeling called to that, that's an add-on to the galactic training. So you're activating more parts of yourself, and then you can apply it if you're being in service to other clients. So everything that we're teaching you, you can move through in your toolkit to help another person. So all of these techniques is something that you can use on yourself firstly, learn it and elevate from that, and then apply it to your clients. So if you're feeling called to add some more techniques additional to the galactic training and the medbed training, you can do the multi-dimensional course, which is a 5-week program with Pete and I live next month as well. And for anyone that's new here, today, what we do in this is kind of how to have a little bit of a chit chat at the beginning, and everyone then will go into like an activation meditation, which is led is going to be led by Pete today. And I guess the intention for today's session, you want to elaborate on that first?
I think the intention for today is helping us to more and more go with the energy rather than trying to consciously so much, let's say, navigate it and control it or influence it or be constantly trying to get something out of it all the time. You know, there can be often this transactional look at things in life. People, experiences, and how we move through life can sometimes be looked at very much like a transactional based experience. And today we're going to be looking at moving through those different levels of awareness. And of course, and I know this might be so clear, but for some of you who are new to this, there is, of course, the first state of awareness, which is almost like the victim state of awareness, where things are happening to me, right? Things are going on and they're affecting me. This person is rude to me. This situation is unfair on me. Why is this happening to me? Life's not fair. This sucks, you know, and we move into what we call victimhood. And we all know that, we're aware of that. And as you move through personal development, you can move into, I guess, what you would call, instead of things happening to me, let's say things are then happening by me. Yeah, personal development. Things are going to happen by me through the power of my will, my determination, my self-discipline. I'm going to make things happen, right? So I'm going to set some goals, and you might even know about the power of, you know, let's call it the laws of the universe. So you start thinking more positive. I would even put under that umbrella saying more affirmations, right? Doing your gratefuls, doing like things, because I'm going to make things happen and things are happening by me. And look at me go, right? That's a better state of consciousness, right? Than the first one where you're just a victim and everything sucks, right? Now it's like, right, I'm going to make things better. Then you move into this next state of awareness, which I would very much say I'm still doing my best to move through, but it is, instead of things happening by me, I'm moving into things are happening through me. So it's like the universe expressing through me, showing me perhaps unhealed parts of myself, areas where I still need to work on myself in an attempt to move back into a state of unity, and be grateful for the distortions, right? Because if I already was in a state of unity and balance, there would be nothing for my soul to learn, because my soul learns and masters lessons through imbalances in my field or in my life or in different areas of my being. Does this make sense? So I've got to have distortions, and the universe will play out through me, and I can understand and appreciate those distortions. And then hopefully, as I move through that and see the universe expressing itself through me in its various ways, not so much positive and negative, but you get that point of how it all is a reflection. I can move to the fourth, which is actually unity consciousness, or things that I am all things playing out, and that acceptance of what is, and more moving into that state of being the observer and just sitting back and watching it all play out. And that is a challenge to move through those. As you, though, more and more learn to realize that things are happening through you and for you, to see things.
You're actually doing it.
And that it's actually all playing out because it is part of you. You are connected to source, to the divine, and it's expressing through. You can spend more times in, let's say, 3 and 4, but you still have access to number 2. Remember, things happen by me. And you catch yourself. As soon as you go to number 1, you don't spend long there. You know, gosh, that person, they made me so stressed. They were so rude, or they were so late, or they were so short, or whatever. And then you hang on. That's victimhood, right? That was actually there to show me something, right? You can jump straight over that number. You can go straight over, it's going to be fixed by me, and go, hang on, I attracted that, right? I attracted that person. It was an opportunity to see how I deal with angry men, or rude women, or pushy people, or whatever it is, salespeople, or whatever your trigger might be. And we can learn to observe ourselves moving through these different levels of consciousness. Now, you still need level 2. Things are done by me every now and then, because you've got to get stuff done, right? We don't always have to sit outside in the garden in puddles of peacefulness, observing or thinking about things going on in our life. Sometimes we've actually got to get up and make things happen. And we go into mode 2, things happen by me, through my mind, my action, and my expression of energy out there in the world. And then how that action starts to manifest out, you can reflect on by being the observer. And I want to help this flow start to be integrated into your field more today in this meditation. And I hope that explanation makes sense of that, and how you can learn to identify which level you're in, and of course integrate that more. Because one of the biggest ways I think that we can overcome any sort of block, or even any sort of perhaps mental state that you might feel yourself in at any one time, like feeling a block, something not in flow happening for you, the best way to move through that is gratitude. Moving into a state of gratitude, particularly when it's difficult. Like when you're not in the right state to do your gratefuls, is a really powerful way to use your gratefuls, right? The things that you're grateful for. Because there's 3 ways you can use gratitude as a tool to overcome your funk, right? Your negativity, you're out of alignment, you're not in the mood to do gratefuls. Perfect, right? This is when we need the gratefuls. So what am I grateful for? And you might, let's go through the levels as well. Well, for now, I'm grateful for the fact that, well, I guess, and if you're not, I guess I'm not in pain. And, and I'm not starving hungry, and my body's in balance. I appreciate the country I live in. I love my family, my kids, whatever it is, the obvious ones. Then you might move into very, very quickly the gratefuls that are less obvious. You might move to the fact that some of your obstacles, some of the painful people in your life, some of the blocks that might be currently going on in your energy flow are actually giving you an opportunity to grow and expand and to become a better person. And you might think, wow, I wonder if I'm at a level to be able to get to that yet, right? So often people start with being thankful for material objects or people around them or pleasant things. And you can move to that next level where you go, you know what, though, the challenge that I had with that person yesterday, it really was a gift. It's like for myself and Roxy with the story, for me yesterday, it's like for the life of me, was every single ATM in Santa Monica out of order, not reading the card, there's a problem with your issue, da 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 da. I was like, what the heck? Once I got 5 in a row, I really went, you know what? I'm not going to try anymore. I'm just going to roll to something else.
Go to bed,
And
Pete.
I moved through it. I didn't get upset about it. Didn't go in and slam my hand on the desk at some poor innocent person. None of that. But I was aware. I was like, far out, something's going on here. But I was grateful then afterwards because other things flowed in that afternoon. Today we had an amazing day. So we're going to talk about these, and I'm going to weave them into something for you.
I wanted to add as well, like something that's come to me lately is we're trying to always manifest, and of course to make it, we're the creator being, like Pete said, is 4 points. So once you work out that you are God, you are source, whatever you like to call that, when you realize that you're a spark of that and you can create, sometimes we focus on manifesting. And like Pete said, it's a balance. You have to be grateful for the emotions, the lessons, as well as grateful for the physical things and items that you have in your life now. Because that is a pivotal step to ground in gratitude for what we have now, rather than thinking about things in the future that we want to be grateful for. So it's an organizing principle of the energy. If you're not grateful for what you have now, how do you expect the divine to offer you the next thing? You wouldn't be grateful for it, right? Because you just skip over that step again. So if something's not manifesting in your life, you've got to look at why. Maybe the right now moment you haven't been grateful for, maybe the customers that you do have, or the wealth that you do have, the people in your life that you do have. So how can you expect new ones to come in when it's not in gratitude? It's just one point that I've really been digging down into for myself in my own journey, and I share that with you, and maybe that can help you in your own journey to sit in that gratitude place for exactly everyone in your life and what you have right now. You know, we often overlook the now moment. We're always chasing the future. But the key to this experience is actually just to enjoy this now moment. Like we had a really powerful meeting a couple of weeks ago, and we were like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen next. And I said, yep. That's not the key to this experience. The key is to be in the excitement of that meeting. And once that it gets expired and we've fully been in that energy and expressed and experienced that excitement, then the next thing will come. But our monkey mind always wants to go, oh, what's going to happen next out of that, you know? So then I started moving into myself, okay, I need to be really grateful for this excitement, because that's what I asked before. I wanted excitement, you know, fun, joy, you know, stuff in your life. But it's like, okay, you got it here. And then I'm already trying to work out what's going to happen next. No, Roxy, you have to be in the excitement of that and just dwell in it. And you have to trust that what's coming next will come when you've expired and really grounded in the excitement for what that just happened. Does that make sense?
It reminds me of that line that a lot of people might have heard from their parents or their grandparents. If you kids don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about, you know? With the universe, it's a bit more positive, but it's like, well, if you don't stop giving gratitude, I'm just going to keep giving you things to be grateful for. So what an amazing habit of mind to be in. You know, instead of, let's call it the habit of mind of victim mentality, what if we're in the habit of mind of grateful, constantly grateful? So the universe constantly gives us things to be grateful for, more and more and more, because you don't get what you deserve. You don't get what you want, you get what you are, right? Because that's the frequency of what you are. When you are the frequency of what you want to achieve, you have a resonance, and like attracts like. So we achieve what we have become as a person and what we resonate at. Hence that term that Roxy and I often talk about, raise your vibration, raising our vibration, staying in that positive, constantly grateful, inquiring, being the observer type mindset is very, very powerful. So I'm going to take you through a wonderful journey on helping to weave this into your field.
Now we're going to move into our meditation. So when we do this, for anyone that's not familiar with the way we do this, it's probably about a 20-minute, 30-minute meditation activation. And we turn down the screens. We'd invite you to go and get cozy like a baby, receiving. This is your time to receive. We know a lot of you are doing a lot of work for this planet. Some of you are being conduits of energy for the earth. Some of you are smiling at people in the shops and sending energetic love bombs. Some of you are in the healer's seat. Some of you as mothers, fathers, sisters, being hearing ears for your friends and family that are waking up, and that can be hard and tiring as well. So this is an opportunity for you to receive and for you to level up in this moment from us. And it's a gift. So enjoy the gift, get snuggled like a baby, and we'll get started now. I'm going to put everyone on mute so there's no distortion. We're going to get some background music happening. Okay.
Okay, so just closing your eyes. Direct your attention to your eyelids. Relax those tiny eye muscles and let them go. And then feel the relaxation moving like a wave slowly downward throughout your body. Relax. Feeling your physical body becoming more and more relaxed. Your mind, your awareness moves from the top of your head down through your physical body, relaxing your neck, shoulders, your back, feeling that relaxation moving in and through you as you relax your chest, your abdominal area. And feeling this relaxation moving down through your legs and your thighs, down past your knees, your shins and calves. This wave of relaxation moves through your feet and all the way down to the tips of your toes. Physical body is now totally relaxed. As you feel your physical body relaxed and in balance, you can imagine this tingling sensation, this warmth, moving in through the top of your head and then moving its way down through your neck, following your spine down, your upper back, your mid to lower back, all the way down through to your tailbone and the hip area. As you feel this energy moving in from source, from the divine, and anchoring you into the earth. Feeling yourself grounded and connected. Breathing that through. Allow this awareness now to move in through you. And as it moves through you, find the intelligence of this awareness scanning you. Looking in and through you for any negative charges that may be present right now in your field. These negative charges may be interactions, blocks, or events that have been going on recently in your life, or perhaps still going on right now. It may involve people. It may involve challenges at work or in your business. They may involve other areas just associated with life. But reflect on the intelligence of this energy directing you to any negative charges that are in your life, and feeling yourself moving through the power of forgiveness. And let them go. If it was a person that triggered you, if it was you yourself reacting negatively to a situation, forgive yourself, forgive the other person. Feel this negative charge leaving your field. As you feel this negative charge, this situation moving from your field, you feel yourself becoming more and more relaxed. You experience your awareness expanding even more. You feel yourself moving more inward, nearer to the very heart of your being. Observe now that your breath extremely gentle, feeling yourself fully present in the moment. You start to feel or observe the presence of divine love and divine will moving in and around you. It's like the essence of who you really are. With each gentle breath now, you're starting to visualize this love, this divine will and awareness flowing through you, lighting up every cell within your being. It brings with it a sense of peace and purpose. Perhaps as you breathe in now, I invite you to just say to yourself gently, I align my will with the divine will, with divine love. And as you exhale, feel any resistance melt away. So allow this light to dissolve any doubts or fears and just feel them being replaced with trust and clarity. As you're telling yourself this, you may actually become aware of limiting beliefs or perhaps falsehoods and lies that you've been telling yourself. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I can't succeed, I don't deserve this, that, or I don't deserve happiness. Just smile and acknowledge these thoughts without judgment. As your divine guidance shows any of these imbalances to you, just visualize them as a dark cloud. And as you breathe in gently, imagine divine light from within you growing stronger. And as you exhale, you see the light that you exhale blowing away the dark clouds, dissolving them, transforming them into the nothingness. And it's like you feel the liberation on the next breath in as these limitations vanish, leaving you free to embrace your full potential, your true potential, more of who you really are. A spark of the divine, a fragment of source down here, having an imperfect experience, which is divinely perfect, helping to learn and understand through the distortions your soul grows. If there have been any persistent negative feelings or thoughts that you have had through your life, they might be related to underlying stresses, anxiety. It might be a challenging emotion. Now, as you inhale, on the exhale, you can acknowledge as you replace these and blow them away and feel them disappear. You can feel instead thoughts of gratitude and reflection. For example, if you've been feeling stressed about your work or your business, you might replace this and feel the shift as you blow out, and it moves into a shift to gratitude for having a job or experiencing being in your own business. If perhaps you're feeling lonely, the shift to gratitude could be gratitude for the people that you do have in your life and that you're aware of. Breathing that through now. Excellent. Now, with your vibration more and more elevated, focus on now how you would like to feel more in your life. What sort of just experiences or general feelings that are positive would you like to attract into your life? Think about and visualize or sense, see the emotions associated with perhaps peace, love, joy, abundance. Allow these emotions as you breathe in and gently out to continue to amplify your vibration more and more, moving your vibration higher and higher as you affirm to yourself within, I attract what I desire with ease and grace. My thoughts and feelings are powerful creators of my reality. And as you say this to yourself, trust that the universe is aligning to bring your desires into manifestation. So once again, just breathing in and affirming to yourself, I attract what I desire with ease and grace. My thoughts and feelings are powerful creators of my reality. Feeling yourself now more and more in the present moment. Being completely aware and grateful for the fact that you are awake, for the fact that you know that you have a soul and you're down here having this experience, as you align with and become at peace with exactly where you're at right now. Even if you desire more and set that as an intention moving forward, being grateful for where you are right now, because you've come so far. Just take a moment now to sit in the stillness and feel the alignment and the freedom from self-limitation. Feel the high vibration that you've cultivated. Know that you can return to this state whenever you need it. It's time now to slowly bring your awareness back to your physical breath, your awareness back to the physical vessel. Feeling yourself now just wiggling your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes and carry this sense of alignment and gratitude with you through the rest of the day and this evening.